Inhlakani wakokwana. Greetings from Musoni. Tukulo wabangoni. Evandao. Damn, it's cold out here today. I'm in Munich, Germany. And right now, I'm going into the Museum of Egyptian Artifacts, Ancient Kemet, to see what are stolen artifacts. Here it is. Going in, get my ticket. So I'm inside now, and I just saw one of my favorite rare statues. This is the head of Kokwan Khufu, the builder of the Great Pyramid of Giza. I'm gonna give you guys a close-up look at the ancestor. So this is the head of Pharaoh Khufu. With his crown. Man, look at that nose, man. Look at that nose, man. That's a big nose. That's a Bantu nose. Even though there's no such thing as specifically Bantu nose, but this one only belongs to the Bantu. And also, to my surprise, I found some items from the Nok civilization, but there's only 2 items, imagine. So they only have these 2, and hence they don't even have a section for it. But the part that I want to highlight in terms of Eurocentric bigotry is this in relation to the Meroitic script. It's the Meroitic script. Brings back memories of when I visited the Sudan and went through the whole civilization from its inception, Napta, and all the way to the kingdom of Meroe. But check out what they're saying about the people of Meroe. For thousands of years, the Nubian civilization had failed to develop scripts to represent their respective languages. They remained illiterate. Yet they must have been well aware of the manifold possibilities for the use of writing through their close contact with Egypt, and did in fact use the Egyptian script and the language for official documents in their own country. The consequential refusal to fixate their language in written form was an African phenomenon. In the areas of Egyptian foreign rule, it contributed greatly to the general derogatory view of Nubians, a culture defining itself through its literacy, as did Egypt, and for whom the perfect mastery of reading and writing was considered inseparable with high social prestige, found it impossible to treat an illiterate culture as an equal. Not until the 2nd century BC in the kingdom of Meroe do written monuments appear documenting an indigenous language with its own purely phonetic script. Yet compared with Egypt, the amount of written documents was small. Longer historical inscriptions remained the exception. The short texts in the stele and the offering tables with their standardized formula were highly repetitious. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to point out is how they failed to develop a script. So, because they didn't have a script, the assumption is they failed. What they failed to understand is that in Africa, people did not just develop things for the sake of ego, that, oh, we developed this. They developed things based on the need at the time. If there was no need for a written language, why would they use one? And the second part is, and also to prove that, if you go to ancient Egypt, for example, ancient Kemet, you'll see the pyramids. They were designed to last forever, but where are the palaces of the kings? Did they fail to design the palaces to last as long as the pyramids? That's ridiculous. They just had no need of palaces that stood forever. And so the next one is them being illiterate, which is ridiculous because when the 25th dynasty, this is long after the 25th dynasty, entered Egypt, ancient Kemet, they were already, they wrote or rewrote the Memphite theology in the Shabaka stone. So did they just suddenly become literate as soon as they ran into Kemet? That's ridiculous. And also, so as I said, the whole thing of reading and writing being a social status, that has never been the African state of mind. Africans were not driven by ego. Or the ancient Africans, they were driven by purpose. So if there was no purpose to design something to its higher standard, then they didn't do it. And also the last part is the consequential refusal to fixate their language in written form was an African phenomenon. How is it an African phenomenon when ancient Kemet is African? The essence of writing itself is African. Africans were the ones who invented writing on paper as well, papyrus. And we even have more writing systems than this continent, of course, so-called continent, Europe. So I just wanted to highlight a bit of that bigotry that you find. So when you're out there and you are looking at, you go into museums, you go into whatever literature, you need to be prepared, have a foundation to be able to dissect what you're looking at and reading. And then, last but not least, I want to show you guys some beautiful golden jewelry from the kingdom of Meroe. Look at that. Fabulous. Still super fabulous by modern standards. Extra fabulous. And the signets, the rings over there.